Well, good evening, Texarkana Game Day fans. Welcome to Bubba's 33. It is Takeover night, and if you can't tell, we are here with the Pleasant Grove High School Band for tonight's Takeover. I'm Matt Fry with Texarkana Game Day. Got Kevin Sutton, Jay Sutton. We're going to be talking to them in just a minute. Down on the end, we've got Dr. Matt Young with Texarkana Emergency Center. Of course, we know about Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, everything that they do for us here on Texarkana Game Day tonight. Dr. Young, you guys are partnering with Bubba's 33 to give back to the band, and you're actually going to match what Bubba's 33 does tonight. So anybody that comes out tonight, a portion of that comes back to the band from Bubba's 33. You guys from Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital are going to match that with us.
Absolutely, and we just look forward to it, supporting the band and, of course, the instructors, all the students, and everybody who works so hard together, and then just to see the community come out as well, and the parents, their brothers or sisters are out here, and so, again, bring your appetite, bring your money, support PG.
Yes, sir, always a good time. So like I said, I'm joined by two gentlemen here in the middle, and the guy right in the middle is Jay Sutton. He is the director of bands for Pleasant Grove ISD, and Mr. Sutton, so many folks recognize the band because they show up on a Friday night and you guys are up there just doing all the things and really doing what we just saw there,
for sure,
making a whole lot of noise and getting people excited.
Absolutely. That's one of our favorite things to do with the band. We do a lot of things outside of that, but one of our favorite things, and we kind of stress, is being the loudest in the stadium and setting the atmosphere, setting the tone for a great game night. It sure makes it easy when our team's winning and when they're really good, which they are.
Yep.
And so it's a whole lot of fun to get out there and make some noise and cheer them on. So.
And Kevin, you start this program all the way at the middle school, and you even had them out at one of the middle school football games, kind of giving them a taste of it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we played a couple games, and we played at the Gilmer game last week, and they had a lot of fun, and kind of the same thing. We get them started off teaching them how to engage the crowd and how to get the energy and atmosphere of the game set up.
Earlier this year we had a game that went into overtime, and I was talking to Coach Gibson after it, and he said, man, what an advantage our band is. And he talked about the other band, and he's like, man, they were down there, they were kind of making some noise. He goes, then you get on our band, and those dudes are losing their mind and just being loud. And just talk about how you think that impacts the game, and is that something that you talk to your students about?
Absolutely. We like to think that we have a big effect on the game, especially when the teams are down near us. And luckily at every stadium we're at, we're pretty much sitting on an end zone down there. And so we feel like we try to take the home field advantage anywhere we go. And the game you're talking about was an away game. Yeah. And we still felt like we kind of gave us a home field advantage there in double overtime. And, that's one thing that we really do preach to the kids, that's what we're there for, And we like we talked about, we do a lot of other things, the competitions and things. But when it's Friday night, that's our main purpose, is to be there for that, and so we really push that for sure.
Dr. Young, you've been out to a lot of those games on a Friday night. Talk to me just about some of your experience and maybe kind of what you see from these guys.
No, absolutely. You see, what I see too is all the hard work that everyone puts in, and all the students that are out there. And again, I say it every time, these students are athletes just as well. They practice just as hard as the football team, basketball team, volleyball team. And you got to appreciate them, and then you got to appreciate all their instructors. And for it to be there on the sidelines, it gives you goosebumps. It gives you chills when you're down there in the atmosphere, and then the band strikes up. I mean, I can't run fast anymore, but it sure makes me feel like I could.
Makes you want to do it, right? So, again, we're live here at Bubba's 33. We want you to come out, join us. Come out here on the patio. Get yourself some food and drinks. It's a great time out here. Some of the money goes back to the band. That's being matched tonight by Texarkana Emergency Center. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have members of our color guard here. We're going to talk about all the different groups that are involved in marching band and what they do. Of course, when we first come back, we're going to hear from that Pleasant Grove High School band once again. So we'll take a break for you to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this. You're watching Pleasant Grove Band Takeover live from Bubba's 33.
My name is Ray. This is my wife, Jeannie, and we've been using Lone Star Heating and Air for over 10 years. Matthew installed a training unit for us. He also has a service agreement that he has offered us that we use annually, and we have been very happy. We just highly recommend Lone Star Heating and Air. They're the most honest, reliable, dependable team that you could ask for. So in your future needs, if you have any for HVAC, call Lone Star Heating and Air. You'll be glad that you did.
All right, welcome back here to Bubba's 33. It is Pleasant Grove High School Band Takeover. I'm Matt Fry. Down on the opposite end, we've got Dr. Matt Young with Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Jay Sutton, our Director of Bands, and we are joined by two special guests here, Deanna Dyer and Eden Venable, and you ladies are the drum majors for the band. And so drum major, people out there listening to it, they go, oh, that must be who plays the drums. Well, no, you don't look like those crazy-looking cats. So you two young ladies are the ones that everybody's going to see on Friday night standing up, directing the band and what's going on there. And so, Deanna, talk just a little bit about kind of what the role is. Everybody sees you on the platform, but kind of what's the day-to-day life and what's some of the stuff that you're responsible for as a drum major?
So the drum major position is kind of like a liaison between directors and students as well as our leadership team. We're responsible for starting rehearsal each morning, making sure everyone's on task, and answering any questions that a director, doesn't have to answer. Other than that, though, we're mainly known for conducting our show, and in order to do that, we have to know the tempos for each of our movements, and we have to be able to perform that flawlessly with no mistakes, as well as, fixing any issues that might happen during our performance on the fly.
And so when you're up there during a performance on a Friday night, you're listening to what the band is doing because you kind of know what should be happening at different times. It's almost like you're playing the entire band as an instrument. Is that kind of what you would think?
Yes, sir.
Something like that. And so, Eden, you are also a drum major. It kind of takes two people to get that many folks, going there. You guys haven't just been doing this for the last couple of weeks as we get ready for contest season, rather. This has been kind of a project you all have been doing for almost half this year.
Oh yeah, we started early July.
Yeah.
With really early rehearsals starting at 7 in the morning, and then that continued later into the school season with still more early morning rehearsals.
Yeah.
And not only did we have those rehearsals, but we had Monday nights, we would have late rehearsals from 6 to 8, as well as sectionals for each of the instruments to work on music in all region.
And so on a Monday, you guys are starting at 6:30 in the morning. You got your leadership meeting and that, and then you're there until 8 o'clock at night.
Yes.
That's almost a shift like you guys put in over at the hospital, Dr. Young.
I'm telling you, we appreciate what you all do, and it really shows. And I know Mr. Sutton is very proud of y'all being the leaders as well. Some of the student leaders that are helping your other band members and making sure that they're taken care of. And again, we want everyone to come out and support this tonight because we're going to donate some funds to the Pleasant Grove Hawk Band.
Mr. Sutton, talk about these two young ladies and what they mean to you and how much you have to rely on them. Because with 150 kids out there, it does take some student leadership. And so what do these two ladies mean to you and what they do every day?
Absolutely. Well, we have a whole leadership tree through our band. We have section leaders and different things. That everyone has a job. But these two kind of look over that whole thing, and without them, we really could not do what we do. And they have been just awesome this year. Two of the best I've ever had in getting everything we're doing going and pushing these kids. And it is a long season. We talk about the long days, the early mornings, late nights. I mean, we were there 7 a.m. this morning.
Right.
We watched the sunrise every day together.
Yeah.
And to get to push these kids to be there every single day, that takes a special student leader, and so I couldn't be more proud of these two for what they've done for us. And
what about, and you talk about that in the leadership tree that you have there, all of us work professional jobs. That's real life. That's stuff that carries over, even if you're not going to play a musical instrument. What does that mean? And kind of you guys, as you get ready to go on, what are some of these leadership skills you think that you've learned, or maybe something that you're better at now that maybe you wouldn't have been if you were a drummer? Sorry, that wasn't on the list. I don't want to freak you out, but what are maybe some things you've learned about leadership this year?
Oh, one of the things for me is projecting my voice, getting outside of my comfort zone, talking to people, getting in front of huge groups of people, because I never did that.
Or so sitting by some crazy man on the radio or something like that.
I never did that before either.
Yeah, no, y'all are doing a great job. So, again, we know this is something that's going to help as we go on into the future. All right, well, we kind of shifted around a little bit. We talked about Color Guard was coming up. I promise it's going to be coming up next. So we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to hear from the band again, and then we'll be joined by our Color Guards. You're watching Pleasant Grove Band Takeover here live from Bubba's 33.
Start your day with seamless transactions. Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All right, welcome back to Bubba's 33. It is the Pleasant Grove High School Band Takeover live here on Wednesday night. I'm Matt Fry. That was our drum line that you just heard from there. And I'm joined by Dr. Matt Young down here on the end, Miss Anna Sutton, one of our band directors here. Jayla Tank is the young lady in the middle, and Auburn Franklin is the young lady just here to my left, and they are part of our color guard. So the color guard is something that maybe you've heard about or maybe you've heard it only in military terms. But Miss Sutton, tell us just a little bit, what is a color guard and how do they kind of fit into what the band does?
Yeah, our color guard is they're a section of the band, and they dance, they spin flags, rifles, and sabers, and they really enhance what the band is doing visually. They help with the emotion of the band and just help sell the show to the audience.
Awesome. So a lot of the visual things that we see out there and all those flags and the guns and all that stuff, that's what these ladies are doing. Now, Auburn, first of all, I know that you hang out here all the time, right? Because you work here at Bubba's. They want to make sure, yes, right?
I
One
do.
of the hosts is here. So, but you are the color guard captain.
I am.
And so are you guys like real band members? Like what, you also play instruments and that kind of stuff?
Okay, so all of us play instruments. We play in the stands. All of us know how to play instruments, and we do that, and we play during concert season too.
Right, so just in case anybody didn't think that you got to learn all the same kind of stuff, plus what they're doing color guard. Now, Jayla, you are extra busy on Friday nights.
Yes,
you're out there
sir.
cheering with the cheerleaders. You're part of the color guard during halftime. I know you're in jazz band. Oh, by the way, just the homecoming queen as well this year. And so certainly glad to be joined by these two awesome young ladies. But talk about just the color guard as a whole. How many people make up that color guard? And talk about maybe some of the successes that you've had this year, because y'all have been really celebrated this year.
Yes, sir. So this year we have 12 people on the color guard, and this year we've had a lot of good accomplishments. We've had all ones at all of our competitions, and at our previous competition we actually finished with best in our division 4A, and we also finished second overall, but we beat a lot of the bigger bands that you would have thought would have had us over the head, but we were able to accomplish that.
So something that's maybe not quite as big, but does it just a little bit better. So, I don't know, maybe like Texarkana Emergency Center Hospital down there. Right. Is that a good little segue into what you guys do? I can say that, then you don't have to, right?
You out there and see you getting the crowds fired up. And then also see, it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of work, and a lot of teamwork and effort. So we just appreciate all y'all do, and it really helps to make the whole experience much more worth it.
Ms. Sutton, I know that another part of what you do is just kind of the overall design and the look of the show. So if people see the band on a Friday night, they're going to see the black and the gold, and they recognize that. But contest time, all of a sudden now you've got different uniforms on, and they've got these kind of cool colors from back in the day. And then you've got all these banners and signs and stuff, and maybe some stuff that Dr. Young and I recognize a little bit more than these kids, because it's got cassette tapes and 8-tracks and that kind of stuff. And this year our show is called Nostalgic, and so talk about just kind of the theming of the entire show and how all of that plays into what you do.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts, and I really love working with Whitney Glover. She's the person who designs our props and our flags, and she's actually a PG Color Guard alumni.
Nice.
Yep. And she has designed our flags this year, and our Part 1 flag, it helps set the theme for the nostalgia. It's a washed out photograph, and what you might not be able to tell when they're spinning it and doing all the tosses and everything, but if you look closely, it's actually a picture of State Line. And then we also have that on the front screens, and we have a few other pictures on the front screens where they have a picture of Holiday Bowl and a couple of other places around Texarkana from back in the day, as you say.
Awesome. So that's marching season. That's the stuff that you do then. But then, Auburn, in addition to, like we talked about, concert band and you guys playing your instruments for that, there's something called Winter Guard that you guys have been participating in over the last couple of years. Tell me a little bit about what Winter Guard is, and maybe who all is part of that, and is it just band or how that works?
Okay, so Winter Guard we do inside. You don't have to be in band, and you don't have to be a girl. We have a guy on our team, Khalil. So you don't have to be a girl, or you can be a boy too, and it can be anywhere from 7th to 12th grade.
Wow, and so you guys start, and I guess you participate in Winter Guard too, Jayla. How many folks do y'all have out there doing that? And maybe talk us through, like, what does a Winter Guard show look like, and how does that different maybe than what we see on a Friday night?
So Winter Guard, we definitely have a lot more people than we do during the Color Guard season, because we are the only people on the floor. And of course we have more people trying out, because during Color Guard it's just the people who are in band, but during Winter Guard it's also people who aren't in band, 7th graders, 8th graders, and we open that up for really more people. So for the JV, that kind of looks like they have their show, but they perform at home. Our varsity team, we also go and compete every Saturday night. So when we perform at home, we kind of have like a little get ready before competition, show off our show, and also have a chance just to show the JV, kind of what we're putting on too, and let them support us, and vice versa, we support them.
And so, Ms. Sutton, you guys travel and y'all compete, and I know that you've been successful at that, and that probably helps build the program and tie into what happens even back in the fall then.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, well,
I just want to say, appreciating all of what you all do, and we want to make sure that the public knows we're here.
Yes.
And that our donations are going to go back to the band to make as much as help as y'all need to make things better. And y'all already do a great job, but it can just increase the excellence.
Well, and one of those things, and you talk about that, and again, yes, Bubba's tonight, proceeds go back to the band. Dr. Young and Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital are matching those proceeds tonight to go to the band. And here's the thing, our winter guard just in the last couple of months, we've got a trailer now that we can take them and go there. That comes from this kind of stuff. So the support from you, Dr. Young, and members of the community, that's what really goes into what helping y'all do what you do. This Friday, I'm assuming this Saturday, we got area competition. Y'all ready to go for that?
Yes, sir.
I think we're ready.
Awesome. All right, well, hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back here from the band again, and then we have some more folks that we want you to meet here from Bubba's 33. We'll take a break. You're watching Pleasant Grove Band Takeover on Texarkana Game Day.
Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, or maybe a new or pre-owned boat or RV, care for a car wash, had a fender bender, or you need service on your vehicle, boat, or RV, we have it all when you let us exceed your expectations at Greg Orr Auto, Marine, and RV in Shreveport, Texarkana, and Ashdown. Shop hassle-free and always be treated like family while choosing from our sensational selection. In Shreveport, visit Orr Acura, or BMW, or Cadillac, or Infiniti, and the Greg Orr Pre-Owned Supercenter. In Texarkana, Mercedes-Benz of Texarkana, Classic Buick GMC, Classic Cadillac, Classic Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Classic Kia, Classic Mazda, Classic Pre-Owned, The Classic Car Wash, Greg Orr Marine and RV, Greg Orr Collision, and Classic Chevrolet in Ashdown. Or visit GregOrAuto.com.
Tired of banking fees and complicated accounts? With State Bank's My Free Checking Account, enjoy no minimum balance and 0 monthly fees. Get a free gift just for opening your checking account, because we believe banking should be rewarding. Great for personal accounts and businesses too.
right, welcome back here. It is Pleasant Grove High School Band Night here at Bubba's 33. I'm Matt Fry. I got Dr. Matt Young here with me, and so, of course, you get two Matts up here. You know you're going to have good stuff going on. But
they can't go wrong when they call one of our names.
Absolutely. But, Dr. Young, you guys are here tonight. You are matching everything that Bubba's 33 does tonight to help give back to the Pleasant Grove High School Band. So anybody out there, come in tonight, eat here at Bubba's 33. Some of that goes back. But you guys, I mean, obviously – people are going to show up to you sometimes on some of the scariest days. I've been in your clinic when I rearranged my left arm accidentally and didn't mean to do it. But people are showing up. But just talk about what it means for you guys just to meet people where they are. They show up there, and who knows what's going on in their life. But they show up to your emergency center. Now it's a hospital. You can do a lot of services there. And talk to me just kind of about what you feel like your guys' mission is and kind of what you mean to the community.
Well, you know, we appreciate that. And we just, ever since opening roughly almost 9 years ago now,
it's crazy.
We've always supported our independent school districts and love our teachers, administrators, coaches, students, and consider them all as heroes and just want to take care of them. And ever since we opened, that's been one of our focus, to take care of those who've taken care of us. And neither you or I wouldn't be here without going through school, having so many people touch our lives. And the same thing goes for our first responders as far as law enforcement, firefighter, EMS. And we want to make sure that we're there. And so we're a full-fledged hospital, have emergency medicine physicians on duty 24/7. The outstanding staff, and most of our doctors, we all have a little bit of gray hair.
You know, hey.
Right. But you know, we've all are very experienced in what we do, and have worked at the other local hospitals here in town, and have great relationships.
Right.
And then so we also have inpatient beds that we can admit somebody in our hospital if they meet certain criteria after we see them in the emergency department. And then, as you mentioned, as we transition to a hospital, we can also do outpatient imaging.
Oh, wow.
And so when I say that, that's like an outpatient X-ray, MRI, CT or CAT scan, and then ultrasound. So you can get that scheduled through one of your providers, and then we can get you fixed up and get you back on the road to recovery.
And all that can happen right there at your location right here on Mall Drive, which, if you don't know, they're right there at the corner of Cowhorn Creek and Mall Drive, right there in front of the Texarkana Convention Center. Or maybe if you're kind of like me, you can say it's behind Tacos for Life, right? So somewhere where people know what we're talking about.
Tacos for Life.
Tacos for Life, always right in there.
Get you close.
But when you talk about all of those services that are available, it's not, hey, come here, you know, get seen and we're going to give you a referral. That's, you guys take care of all that right there in-house.
Right. About 95% of our patients we're able to treat, take care of, and send home through the ER. And so 5%, yes, we may have to admit to either our hospital and or transfer out. And that's why I say, you know, we've got working relationships. I've been practicing here over 25 years now.
Yes, sir.
And then most of our other physicians, and then plenty of our nursing staff and our administrative staff have been working for a long, long time in this area too. So we appreciate being able to take care of everybody in the area. And we also really, really support any kind of community event. Absolutely. And having two children that went to Pleasant Grove and graduated from Pleasant Grove, of course, it's near and dear to our heart.
Yes, sir.
One of them was in band. The other one was an athlete. They're both athletes, in my opinion, because of the hard work that these young men and women put in.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Dr. Matt Young, they are matching everything that Bubba's 33 gives tonight. We can't thank you enough for that. We're going to take about a 30-second break. We've got another group of students who've gotten themselves ready to come up here and talk to us. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back and talk to the members of the Drumline. You're watching Band Takeover from Bubba's 33 here on Texarkana Game Day.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back here to Bubba's 33. It is Pleasant Grove High School Band Takeover, and we are here with members of the percussion section. I've got Tucker Keeney and Mason Hammonds here, two guys that are integral to what the band does. And Tucker, you guys, you don't start, just in August when school starts. Y'all start a lot earlier than that. Talk to me about the entire percussion section. First of all, what do you play? What part of the percussion section are you in, and when do you guys get kicked off and rolling?
Yes, sir. So percussion's a little bit different than all the other the winds.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
We play a lot of different instruments, right? So Mason is part of drumline. And I'm part of the front ensemble, so I play marimba.
Okay.
And a lot of those instruments are kind of like the piano, so you have all of the keys out in front of you. And I, on the marimba, will obviously hit it with a mallet instead of with my fingers on piano.
Yeah.
So we start earlier, so we have a lot more notes in front ensemble and in battery to kind of compensate, at least for me, for the fact that we don't march.
Yeah.
And we start also earlier. We have an audition process because to be a well-rounded percussionist, you should be able to know at least how to play a little bit of everything.
Yep.
So for the marching show, we'll have an audition. We'll get a packet of music and play for some judges, local percussion people, and see who will best fit what the program needs.
Okay, and so you are, like I said, it was up there in the front ensemble, and you can tell when people look down there, and there's different kinds of instruments, there's different triangles and cymbals and those types of things that make all sorts of different noise. But then, again, there's just a ton of different keyboard instruments down there. You play marimba, which, like you said, is like a really big piano that you hit with stuff, and other things like vibraphones. But there's also people down there playing electronic pianos and really utilizing a lot of sound systems and that stuff that maybe if you're a little more gray-haired, like Dr. Young and I, maybe back in those days, they didn't have that in band. But just kind of front ensemble as a whole, you guys are filling in when everything else is done, and then a lot of times you guys are kind of taking over some of that melody.
Yes, sir. We do tend to be counter melody and support. In our show this year, in part 3 in the ballad, we do a lot of support to just background, so the flutes feel a lot more full in the sound. And then like you said, with the electronics, we have a person on soundboard, and they have all of the sound effects that make it kind of feel like you're in a movie theater when you're watching the show with the bass drops and stuff.
Absolutely. Now, Mason, you
yes,
are part of what everybody calls the battery, the guys that are actually out there on the field, drumline, what people say, and so they see you out there. You play the snare drum, lead snare out there. Just talk to me about kind of what the battery's role is throughout the entire show with kind of keeping everybody where they're supposed to be.
Right. Yes, sir. So we're the heartbeat of the band, basically, and our main goal is to keep the tempo consistent throughout the entire show, and that means consistently watching the drum major to lock in and internalize that pulse to really keep it all together.
Right, and so you're having to pay attention. We talked to Eden, Indiana earlier. They're up there kind of telling everybody, what's going on, but really a lot of folks are listening to what you guys are doing.
Exactly, yes, sir. So, you have your snare drums, and your tenors just add a little bit more color to the whole variation of it. But really just our whole entire point is to just keep the beat behind it, just keep it strong and steady. And we have an entirely different environment. We can't rely on listening to other instruments, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because being on all different positions of the field at all times, we're constantly moving. Sometimes we might be 20 yards away from the rest of the band. I mean, you never know. So especially being in a position like that, we have to constantly watch to internalize that, to keep everything together.
And now you guys are also a very big part of just the atmosphere on a Friday night. And man, it seems like even if the band is going to take a rest for a little bit, drumline's down there making some noise. Now, that may be because Mr. Sutton told you to or not. I don't know, because I was a drummer, so I get that part right. But just talk to me about Friday nights and kind of what it feels like, especially as part of that percussion section.
Well, it's really cool for us, especially because we have drum cadences, which means that we get to play little features by ourselves. It's really cool. We get to feature our snares, bass drums, tenors on different parts of it, and it just really hypes up the entire atmosphere. It's really something special, I feel like, for sure.
Yeah, and we agree. That's what we were talking about earlier, is that when y'all kick off, I mean, that really kind of gets everybody fired up. And you
yes, sir.
hear that noise, and just as Matt was saying, when y'all are down, you know, continuing to go when maybe the other part of the band may not be down there with you. I'm telling you, it'll put chills on you, you know. So it gets me fired up, and that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
And then again, appreciate y'all's hard work and dedication. We want to show the community our support by them coming out and coming up here to Bubba's 33 and letting them know that you're here for PG Band, because we're going to donate some of this money that's raised tonight towards the band for equipment, maybe even food. Occasionally y'all like to eat.
A lot of food.
Right. But any other kind of implements that y'all may need.
Absolutely.
Mr. Sutton, we talked about band and how a lot of the skills that you learn in band translate out. We talked about leadership. We talked about that kind of stuff. Drumline, there's kind of two things I think that come from that. One, they have to listen to each other constantly, because if they're not hitting at exactly the same time, all of a sudden what sounds like one big instrument just sounds like a bunch of mess going on out there. And so it's important to, I guess, to rely on each other, but then also to be that leader, even without using words. And so what are some of those things that you think, drumline translates into real life?
Absolutely. Well, with the drumline, especially the way our kids play, it's a hyper intelligent activity. You have to really be thinking all the time. You have to be mentally focused. And what's really great about these kids is not only do they play really well, they play so musically with our winds.
Right.
And so when we go to contests, we get comments all the time about that, about how musically they play both front ensemble and battery. And that just shows the intelligence that those kids have, and being able to do that. That's really tough to do, especially when you're out there moving around too and doing all those things, and front ensemble listening back. And so, going on to what it gives you in life, I mean, I think that right there, being able to utilize so many different facets of your brain, just makes these kids so intelligent and gets them ready for the real world even more. We talked about the leadership structure throughout, and we have that within even our drum line and within our front ensemble. And, those kids know how that works, and that you've got to be part of a team, and you've got to be there, and everybody's relying on you. And especially, you talk about our bass drum line, there's 4 kids playing one part. And so if somebody's gone, you got a problem. And so it's like that. In the real world, it's just like that. You got to be there for people, and you got to take care of your business. And so, yeah, really proud of them for that.
And besides the games, we're talking about competitions.
Absolutely.
And so there's work all the time.
For sure.
And I think y'all, I'm sure, enjoy it, or you wouldn't do it. But there's also work there. So we just appreciate that hard work and dedication. And then Mr. Sutton, you giving back to these young men and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some other things that the band is doing. Also, got a little bit of a large contest going on this Saturday that we want to touch on. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back with some more music. You're watching the Pleasant Grove Band Takeover at Bubba's 33 here on Texarkana Game Day.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here. And we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
All right, folks, welcome back here. We are at Bubba's 33, Pleasant Grove High School Band Takeover. I'm Matt Fry, and I am here with Owen Braza, Jackson Teague, of course, Mr. Sutton that we've talked to, Dr. Matt Young with Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. And we want to talk about just another group of band students, a lot of the same students, maybe involved in some different stuff, but you guys are in our Pleasant Grove Jazz Band. And Mr. Sutton, maybe talk a little bit about Jazz Band, what that is different, and who are the folks that we got that lead that for us?
Absolutely. Well, our Jazz Band meets during the school day. It's an extension of our band program. We have students have to be in the band to be able to be in the Jazz Band, and it's led by Mr. Devin Sipes and Mr. Don Colquitt. And, we have a really great jazz band. They've done really well, especially in the past few years. Mr. Ed Grissom really kind of grew that up, and, he's retired now, so we were lucky enough to bring on Mr. Colquitt this year with Mr. Sipes, and they've just continued to keep it rolling, and our students have done really well, and super proud of that program for sure.
And so, Owen, here you are. You're in jazz band. Of course, concert band, marching band, you get your music. That's what you're going to play, and that's what we're going to do. Jazz band, you kind of play around with the music just a little bit. Maybe talk about how jazz band is a little bit different than regular band.
So with jazz band, you have many different kinds of styles that you can play in. So concert band, you have your marches and your slower pieces. But with jazz band, you get to play with a bunch of different styles like funk and swing and rock, and it's a lot more. It's a lot broader than concert band could be.
You think it kind of gives you maybe a little more in-depth understanding of how music relates with each other?
Mm-hmm. You can really feel. You can really. I'm not sure how to express it well, but you can really get into the music.
Yeah, play around with it.
You can really
put your own stuff on there.
You can really make it yours.
Especially with the improv, right, Owen?
Yeah.
So
and
for those that don't know, improvisation is solos that these students do, and they're making them up on the spot, on their head. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's what makes these guys way better. We've seen a super increase in our students' musicianship because of our jazz band and the different styles they play in, like he was saying, and the improv and everything like that, and really just gets the horn on their face a lot more often, or the drumsticks in their hands, And so, that's been great.
And so, Jackson, the jazz band, obviously not as big as the whole band, so normally, we're not going to roll up in a couple of school buses and show up at a restaurant, but you guys go around and you've played at a lot of things. I know I carried you before. We've gone to assisted living places. You guys have been part of Taste of Texarkana. You've been part of events around. Just talk to me about maybe some of the things you've got to do and places you've got to go as part of jazz band and how you think that's important to the community.
Well, we do a lot of, like you said, community stuff, and obviously we do a bunch of like the assisted living places, but there's also a lot of jazz kind of contests that we do. At SAU, we have a jazz festival that we perform at, and we get to have a clinician or we have to have a clinic with a clinician. And like you said, we get to do all this fun community stuff, and
And so, Dr. Young and I have been talking all night long just about how important community is, and you guys really get to be ambassadors for, Pleasant Grove and for what the music program means. And I think that's probably something really important, and we appreciate that you guys are doing that. You talked a little bit about contest. Here recently, there were some jazz band auditions, and once again, Pleasant Grove just, kind of almost took over the whole thing.
Yeah, we got the All-Region Jazz Band is 20 spots, including saxophones, trombones, and rhythm section, and we got 11 of those spots, with our entire rhythm section being making the cut.
Pretty good.
Amazing.
And not only did they have 11 of those spots, they had 11 of the 17 area spots where they went on to the next level. We haven't heard the results of that yet. That actually gets judged next weekend, and so we're excited to see if we have any make the All-State band. We had a student do that last year,
right?
So it's really another testament to their hard work.
Dr. Young, you like a little jazz music, maybe something that you can hear and hear different
Absolutely,
places.
And get us fired up and, get us going, and appreciate what you all do as well, and know y'all work really, really hard. And then also us giving back to the community. It's always nice when you all are giving back to the community, just like Mr. Fry was saying.
Yep.
Seeing y'all at the nursing home and or retirement center, and then also the jazz, the taste of Texarkana, and just knowing that you're giving back. And so,
Absolutely.
you know, that's what we want people to come out. There's still time to come out tonight to come to Bubba's 33, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. We're going to match some funds so we can help fund and make y'all as great as you already are, and maybe even put a little more excellence on that.
Absolutely, and that's one of those things. These guys are constantly out doing stuff. I know, Mr. Sutton, you want to see our band out there. The jazz band, this year we're starting to see some competition, more competition at the state level available with UIL and that kind of stuff. Tell us a little bit about that.
There's a pilot program being talked about to possibly start having, we have UIL for concert and marching band right now, solo things for students, individuals, but to possibly have jazz band be a part of that as well. And, we like to think we do pretty well there. So we would love to see that happen. And like I said, that's a pilot thing that they're talking about doing, and hopefully that's happening in the near future.
So speaking of competition, and I want to talk about this. This is Tuesday. Saturday, you guys are getting ready to head to Lindale, Texas. Area competition. So in marching band, you start with region. Everybody shows up at their region, and you get a rating. Okay, our Pleasant Grove High School band got straight first divisions, which means every judge gave them the highest rating possible. That qualifies you then to go to an area competition, which is this Saturday. You guys are going to get up early on Saturday morning, really early on Saturday morning. Head on down to Lindale. You have some competition in the morning. They're going to take the top 12 from that and go back and perform again in the evening. And then if you make the top 7 from there, you get to head down to state. And so everything really just kind of comes down to this Saturday. And so how prepared do you think you guys are as a band, Noah?
I think we are as prepared as we can be, really. Of course, we can keep striving for perfection, but I feel really good about this year, and I can't wait to go Saturday and see what happens.
All right, and so Mr. Sutton, again, I know we started this all the way in July. They've been working all the way through there, but it comes down to this Saturday. So what would your thing to the community, what do you want the people that are watching this to know, not only about these two young men, but all those kiddos that we've seen performing tonight and the work they put in leading up to Saturday?
Absolutely. These kids have been working incredibly hard for hours and hours a day since July. They've had this date circled on their calendar. The last few years we've gone down there, we've been super close. We do have a UIL realignment this year, which makes it really crazy. We're definitely in the hardest 4A area in the state of Texas for sure. But we like our chances. We're going to go down there and give them our best and see what happens. And we would love to see our community down there to support us at Lindale, Texas. We march at 11:45 a.m. in prelims, and then hopefully we get another shot at it later that night in finals and see what happens.
All right, so that's, again, coming up Saturday. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to end the show over there with our band just one more time to say a big thank you to Bubba's 33 opening up their home to us tonight. Some of the proceeds from tonight go back to the band, and then Dr. Matt Young and Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, you guys coming on tonight and saying, hey, we want to partner with you. We want to double up that impact. So everybody that comes, every dollar that's donated is going to be doubled. Thanks to Dr. Young and his team over there. Can't tell you how much we appreciate that, how much just we appreciate you being here and hanging out with us tonight and these kiddos. It means so much. I know you guys love this community, and we just really appreciate you joining us out here tonight, Dr. Young.
Well, and that's right. I mean, we love the community, love being a part of it, and have grown up here my whole life. Again, two of my sons, graduated from Pleasant Grove, and so try to support all the independent school districts. And tonight, it's all about PG Band.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're going to take a break. You guys feel like playing one more song for us over there?
Yes, totally.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back out live on the patio and close it out from there. You're watching the Pleasant Grove Band take over at Bubba's 33 here on Texarkana Game Day.
My name is Ray. This is my wife, Jeannie. And we've been using Lone Star Heating and Air for over 10 years. Matthew installed a training unit for us. He also has a service agreement that he has offered us that we use annually, and we have been very happy. We just highly recommend Lone Star Heating and Air. They're the most honest, reliable, dependable team that you could ask for. So in your future needs, if you have any for HVAC, call Lone Star Heating and Air. You'll be glad that you did.
Start your day with seamless transactions.
Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap and go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
All right, hey, that's going to do it for us here from Bubba's 33. We cannot thank Cody, you guys enough at Bubba's 33. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us tonight. Dr. Young, matching everything that Bubba's 33 is going to do. And what incredible partners in the community. Mr. Sutton, your band has done a fantastic job tonight. Thank you for being out here. Band, let's hear it for these guys for what they're doing.